Welcome back to the Daily Rundown with me, Fiona Fox. I have Stephen Armstrong and Phil Brennan helping me with the stories this evening as well. Now, Roy Hodgson's 23-man England squad has been announced for the 2016 European Championship in France. Among them is Manchester United's teenage striker Marcus Rashford. He's only 18 and only scored his debut international goal against Australia last Friday. Liverpool striker Daniel Sturridge is also included, but Newcastle United's Andros Townsend and Leicester City's Danny Drinkwater both miss out. Testing me now with these footballers' names. I'm just pretending I know who all these people are. Let's start with Rashford. He's only started playing for United. Is that right, Phil?
Yeah, he's
in February.
I'm a firm believer.
Is he a bit young?
Well, I'm a firm believer if you're good enough, you're old enough.
Sink or swim, just throw him right into it.
He's, yes, he's only played one international, but he scored straight away. It's about being in the right place and putting the ball in the net. It doesn't matter how many games you've played. My biggest fear is that he's not going to get a lot of game time next season with the way the new manager does look after young players. I don't think he's going to be a starter for England anyway, so I don't think there should be too much read into that. But then again, Michael Owen did do that in the World Cup at a similar age, so he's a talent. He's a definite talent. Whether he's ready for the European stage, we'll only find out when they introduce him.
And what about the squad in general? Are you happy with it?
No.
No, right, tell us why.
No, I am and I'm not. I mean,
what were you
to
expecting?
Be fair, I think it's to take players that have not played a lot of football. We do, as England do it in every single tournament, we always take players that have missed a big chunk of the season. Now, Jack Wilshere's a tremendous footballer. Jordan Henderson's okay, not a bad footballer. Neither of them have played enough football for me. If you're going to take both of them, that's a big risk because they're not match fit. So Jack Wilshere can't start the first game, and if he does start the first game, he won't last an hour because he's just not fit enough. Right. He's a great footballer, don't get me wrong, and I would take him, but I wouldn't take Henderson as well. Drinkwater's just played the most amazing season of his life and been brilliant all season. I know he's not a household name, but he's just won the league with Leicester, and he's not looked out of place. And he looked a little bit out of sorts in the last international, but he's only played 2 or 3 internationals. Wilshere's never let England down, so I would take him. I wouldn't have taken Wilshere and Henderson. I would have taken one of them.
Right, so you're not happy with that. Is that the general? Is that the general kind of feeling from the football fans?
Well,
I just kind of tend to come along for the crack of the shouting, and obviously Ireland are there this year, so we're a bit excited over that as well.
Yeah. Speaking as on behalf of all football fans, I wouldn't have taken Rashford. I think that what we do every time we go somewhere is we take a young kid that we put a massive amount of pressure on, then he doesn't perform or he doesn't play, and he becomes the new Theo Walcott. Michael Owen did do well at a World Cup. He might have done well at a few more World Cups if we hadn't put too much pressure on him. Personally, I agree with Phil. I would have taken Danny Drinkwater. I think that footballers and any professional sports players play on memory and familiarity, and in that squad is Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy is an incredibly fast player, and Danny Drinkwater has been used to this season putting ranging balls over the top for Jamie Vardy to run onto, and I think that internationally people know about Wayne Rooney, people know about a lot of our players. People might not know about Jamie Vardy. They might not know about Marcus Rashford, but and I will quite freely admit, if he hadn't scored the only goal in a derby, I might not have been as against him. I just think that he's a very talented player. I think that the suggestion that we should take him for experience, I agree, yeah. I just don't think putting a lot of pressure on him. We've taken with us Daniel Sturridge, who is made out of glass.
So this is my point.
We've taken Jordan Henderson, who is made out of glass. We've got Jack Wilshere, who I just pray he understands.
He's made out of toughened glass.
He's made out of toughened glass, but he also likes to. He's in with Rooney. He's one of the professional sportsmen who likes a cigarette every now and again. He's a cheeky chap. He tackles really tough. He might injure other players. That's my worry. I really want England to do well. I want football to do well. I'm a firmly on the club side of club versus country. I spend no money following England.
But what about? I mean, obviously, when it's something like the Euros or the World Cup or whatever, you're interested. You'll watch the football, won't you?
To be fair, I'm
Is it a no? You're trying to tell us.
personally,
no.
I'm a Croatia fan because I think anybody who plays in a shirt that looks like a picnic blanket is just tremendous. And I also like the fact that Croatia, I have a great affinity to Croatia because first of all, it means Thailand, and secondly, it started a civil war. There was a civil uprising started at a football match by some players. Zvonimir Boban and a lot of their players were very, very political, and I like that idea. When it comes to England, I really do want us to do well because it means that the pubs will be full. But I'm from a small market town who in Euro 96, when we got beat by Germany, the BMW garage got trashed. Now, I think that as an England fan, I think that we should all share. And I just think that football should be the great winner. And I think that more importantly for me this summer is that we have a tournament that goes off without any violence, both from the ultras and the hooligans and the kind of outside influences that want to maybe sort of internalise this. Roy Hodgson's picked 23 men who are going to go over there and kick a ball about. Good luck to them, but there are going to be teams of other men who are going to be kicking a ball about and they're going to want to do it. My only advice to them would be, boys, if you get bored of kicking the ball about, put it in the other person's net. Billy Connolly suggested doing it. It works for me.
Just going back to Marcus Rashford, I think the reason Rashford has been included is because Sturridge has been included. I don't think he's been taken as the Theo Walcott figure.
Right.
I mean, he was only 16 at the time anyway, but I never agreed with that. I don't ever agree with taking a player that's never going to play in that tournament. Because you go to that tournament to win it. Yeah. And you're not going to win it with players who have no intent. The goalkeeper situation is obvious. You've got to take 3 goalkeepers no matter what. That's the rule. But I think Rashford could play. And I think he could play because I don't think Sturridge will play. And if he does play, he'll get injured.
And so, Phil, tell us, what about what's your sort of general plan now for the Euros? Are you taking time off work and all that?
Oh, no, not at all. We have a new issue out just in time for the Euros because remarkably there's a lot of ex-non-league players playing in the tournament. Right. Obviously Vardy Ashley Williams. Yeah. There's Republic have got 8 ex-non-league players playing in their squad.
Right.
So it's been good for us because we were worried about what we would do for a summer special. And the Euros helped us out.
And the Euros helped out there. What about how would you predict England are going to do?
I think Wales will win our group.
Right.
I do. I think Wales are a Leicester. Wales are a pub team.
Wales are a Leicester. I like that.
They're a gang of mates, and they play so well together as mates. And I think Chris Coleman, taking on what Gary Speed would already, he'd done some good work. Gary Speed, God bless his soul. And I think Coleman's just been stepped up because I wasn't sure he was the right choice, and I don't think the players were actually thought he was the right choice. But it turns out he's one of their mates as well. Yeah. So it's worked. Good old cookie, yeah. And I think Wales will have a really good tournament. And then the worrying thing was that Slovakia beat Germany 3-1 over the weekend, and I was thinking they were going to be the whipping boys.
We'll probably have loads more. I suppose we're going to have to dip into it now to get over the next few weeks, because it does all kick off the week after next, isn't it? So. Yeah. This is when I don't get to watch my soaps for a month.
No. And the group stages end on June the 22nd.
Right.
So whatever happens after June the 22nd, we might have been eliminated from Europe from the championships.
Guys, thank you very much for that. We're going to bob over to our last story now. It's emerged that the pub chain Wetherspoons has printed 200,000 beer mats bearing a pro-Brexit message. The beer mats will be available in the company's 920 pubs across the UK in the run-up to the 23rd of June referendum. And another company who's waded into the debate is Ryanair. Police are investigating a complaint from the Vote Leave campaign that a Ryanair ad offered cheap flights I kind of love Michael O'Leary, I have to say, just as a person, who want to vote. They offer cheap flights to expats who want to vote to remain in the EU. They said that breaches bribery laws. What do you think of people, quickly because we have to go for a break, what do you think of companies kind of wading in this manner?
it seems to have worked. The publicity seems to have come to Wetherspoons and Ryanair. We're talking about those two. We're not talking about other pub chains or flight places.
Just the publicity then. Would it
Yeah.
change your vote? Would they would you be influenced by Ryanair in a kind of political way?
No.
Generally?
No,
Would you follow?
No.
I'm really. I think Ryanair. I don't want to verbalise this, but if Ryanair could charge you per word that you spoke on their plane, they probably will put a word limit on the amount of conversation you can have. Whatever gets you on. If,
He's a big City fan, you know. O'Leary.
well,
He's a
well,
big,
they,
massive
in that
City
case,
fan.
in that case, all for it then.
Yeah.
Michael O'Leary for legend, hero, prime minister, president, everything.
It's madness, isn't it?
Do you think that they shouldn't be involved, Phil, at all?
Well,
I think they're allowed.
It's just like a general election thing, isn't it? When it's madness. Let people make up their own mind without, you know. I mean, the beer mat thing did make me laugh. I have to say, the idea of the beer mat, and when you read what's written on the beer mat, it's very cynical.
I only ever use them to. I've played the game where you stack them up and you flip them and try and
Flip 'em
catch
and
them.
catch 'em,
I've never read a beer mat in my
I
life.
feel like you don't get beer mats anymore, though. They just give you those little, you know.
That's 'cause he's got them all.
They give you
That's
those
it, yeah.
little tissue now, don't they? And a short straw because it's supposed to be kind of fancy, or a concept bar.
Oh, you drink in much
Sorry, I go
posher
the wrong
places than
places.
me.
Oh my goodness. Guys, thank you very much for your contribution to those news stories. We're going to go for a break now, and when I come back, I'll have a beautiful, fabulous musical guest for you. Don't miss that.